US President Barack Obama concluded his trip to Kenya with an eagerly awaited speech at the indoor arena at the Safaricom Kasarani Stadium. Obama, who says Kenya is at a crossroads, challenged Kenyans to make tough choices, break the cycle of corruption, embrace democracy, and shun tribal politics. Rita Tinina reports on Obama's 41-minute speech on why the fight against corruption was a key issue in his speech.
It was US President Barack Obama's most important speech to Kenyans yet, an eagerly awaited address to an invite-only crowd drawn from all sectors of the Kenyan society.
I'm here as a friend who wants Kenya to succeed.
To many, he did not disappoint.
So Kenya is at a crossroads, a moment filled with peril, but also enormous promise.
Terming Kenya as a good news story, Obama said the country had realized much progress, but much more needs to be done.
Here in Kenya, it's time to change habits and decisively break that cycle, because corruption holds back every aspect of economic and civil life. It's an anchor that weighs you down and prevents you from achieving what you could.
He painted a picture of some of the effects of corruption.
Across the country, one study shows corruption costs Kenyans 250,000 jobs every year, because every shilling that's paid as a bribe could be put into the pocket of somebody who's actually doing an honest day's work.
Corruption remains one of the biggest challenges for the government, and the US president had a challenge to the government in its efforts to fight graft.
This is not just about changing one law, although it's important to have laws on the books that are actually being enforced. It's important that not only low-level corruption is punished, but folks at the top, if they are taking from the people, that has to be addressed as well. But it's not something that is just fixed by laws or that any one person can fix. It requires a commitment by the entire nation, leaders and citizens, to change habits and to change culture.
Obama, who termed inclusivity as a key pillar for development, wants Kenyans to rise above tribal politics.
I want to be very clear here. A politics that's based solely on tribe and ethnicity is a politics that's doomed to tear a country apart. It is a failure of imagination.
In the 41-minute address that may have inspired, motivated, encouraged, challenged or disappointed some, Obama also focused on another of his pet subjects, democracy and good governance.
You can choose the path to progress, but it requires making some important choices. First and foremost, it means continuing down the path of a strong, more inclusive, more accountable, and transparent democracy.
The US president was in the country for less than 48 hours, but his speech may linger on in the minds of many Kenyans for some time to come. And the challenge over issues that successive governments have been grappling with now piles more pressure on the Uhuru Kenyatta administration. Rita Tinina, KTN News.